Hello everyone, this is Gene and I'm back with the second video of the day, well third actually. This is the third video and yeah, it's the Ezra Miller thing. So I'm going to be hopefully fairly brief about this. I'm not going to pass judgment yet. In fact, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to look at this the same way I would as if I was at work. So let me give a little brief synopsis of one of the many responsibilities I have at my job. I have been working in the New York City university systems for about 10 years now. In fact, this past January made 10 years. I know, I'm amazed too. But I work in the compliance office, and I have worked in the compliance office of several schools across New York City's various universities. One of the roles I have and have had throughout this time is to assist my supervisor with investigations when someone is accused of violating school policy, in particular as regarding non discrimination and sexual harassment. Now, keep in mind, for where I work, these are umbrella terms, and the actual individual, I guess you could say, charges can be anything from, say, actual sexual assault to someone giving another person elevator eyes. I've seen it all. It can be from someone for non discrimination, it can be someone calling you, say, a racial slur, or or someone feeling that they're being passed over for promotion or whatnot because of their race or national origin or whatnot. It can be a variety of things. I have seen many a situation in my 10 years. So, what happens and what my role is that I assist my supervisor. So, when it comes to these type of things, what happens is that if someone has a complaint and my supervisor isn't available, they'll come tell me what they're willing to share about the issue. I will take notes. I will let my supervisor know. My supervisor will contact them, and if it's a situation that my supervisor would look into, because not every single case or cause for complaint that comes across our desk is actually something that my office would look into. But if it is something that my office would look into, then my supervisor, because she's my supervisor, takes the lead and she begins the investigation process. Where I come in is typically in maintaining files, maintaining any documents that are submitted, sometimes sitting in on interviews. This is dependent on my supervisor. I've had some supervisors that have involved me very greatly in this role. There have been others that have only called me in as needed. So it depends on the person. But I've had plenty of experience sitting in and listening to people give their side of the story, whether they're the accused or the accuser or a witness or whatever it is. And then what typically happens is that uh, people are contacted, people give their statements and their account of things. Any evidence, if necessary, is submitted to my supervisor, and my supervisor will take all this information, compile a report. I will usually proofread the the report, which means that I get sort of insider knowledge about what the situation is, right? Because there'll be explanations about who's involved and what the situation is and what evidence was submitted and whatnot. I'll read it, proof it, give it back to my supervisor, and my supervisor takes it from there. So that's pretty much my role in it, more or less. So in this role, I have again come across many claims. I've heard many accounts of what's happened in situations. I have read many an account, read many a report. So here's what I think would happen in my line of work. This video is incredibly damning. I will say that much. That being said, it's also not exactly clear. Right? It's about, at least the clip I found is about 15 seconds, and it plays the footage twice. So probably the actual right, real footage is probably only what, maybe like 6, 7 seconds, maybe 8 seconds long in total. Not a lot to go on. So in my line of work, my supervisor would definitely call Ezra in, call the girl in, call the guy who's taping it. If they have any names about who around them witnessed it, call those people in if they're willing to participate in the investigation process. Because this small clip doesn't tell us much. Again, it looks very damning. I'm not denying that, but we don't know what happened before. We don't know what happened after. All we do know is that the guy holding the camera seems to become very alarmed at the end, right? Saying, "Hey, dude," or whatever it is, right? So he becomes alarmed at the end. But we don't know what caused this. And at least to my knowledge, neither Ezra, nor the girl, nor the guy holding the camera, or anyone else has given a statement yet. So before I pronounce anybody guilty or innocent, I'm going to wait and see how this plays out, because just like in my real life job, we would need more evidence. We would need Ezra's account, the girl's account, the cameraman's account, the accounts of people who maybe witnessed it, right? This is too out of context, in my personal opinion, to make even half a conclusion on. What I will say is that although it's very damning, at least in my opinion, it doesn't look terribly violent, right? I don't get a lot of sense of violent intent. That's got to be like the softest choke slam I've ever seen in life that he does to her. So there's a bevy of possibilities here. I will say that he certainly looks like he's the aggressor, but again, we don't know. Maybe she said something and he's responding. Again, not entirely sure. So again, do I think Ezra Miller's innocent? Not enough information out at the moment to definitively say yes or no. Do I think Ezra Miller is an idiot? Absolutely yes. You know why Ezra is an idiot? Because he should know better. He should know better in this day and age, given that he's a Hollywood actor, that you cannot, especially as a man, you cannot come across in any way as aggressive, especially physically aggressive, toward a girl. Even if this is a best case scenario and they're just goofing around, right? This is still an incredibly bad look because it shows him being the aggressor. We live in cancel culture. He's not ignorant of this. So this was a big dumb thing on his part, in my opinion, regardless of how it turns out. And I hope for his sake and for her sake, because I don't want her to be hurt. I don't want her to be hurt at all. I don't want her to have medical bills or injuries or trauma or anything. And I don't want him to lose his career over a dumb moment. But my guy, think! Use your brain! But anyway, that's the video. Let me know what you think, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day.